I did it again. Sorry.
We were muted.
Yep.
So, guys, you probably didn't hear us. Welcome back to another Friday.
Yep.
All right. And anything that does go wrong and could go wrong on live usually does. So welcome back to another Friday. It's been a very long week, and today is no different. It made it even longer.
Yep.
So welcome to the place where Jason and Tina gives you the 411 on everything relationship, marriage, and everything else. So I'm looking a little puzzled because Jason just wasted his water.
Just a little bit of water, that's
right?
all.
All right. So we're going to keep going anyway. So tonight, welcome to the channel. We love you guys. Thank you. I'm going to get a thing. Who are we, Jason?
We are Jason and Tina Marie, and we are the host of Loving Beyond the I Do podcast and Legendary Relationship.
All right. So what we do is we help couples do what?
We help couples go from stagnation to intimate connections so that they can feel loved, respected, and secure. That's what we do.
We'll put this down here. All right. So where can they find us, Jason? Besides right here every Friday live at 6 p.m.
That's right. Well, you can always find us on our link, and that's at legendaryrelationship.com/info. And that'll list out all of the ways that you can get in contact with us or just find out everything about it, where we are.
Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, our website.
Podcasts.
Right. Our emails. So anything and everything that you guys want to find or see, you can go to legendaryrelationship.com/info. If you want to know about the sex toys, if you want to know about topics and conversations that were hot, you can reach us there. All right. So we do have a guest on tonight, and we cannot see him yet.
Yeah, he's having some technical difficulties, but he's working through it.
Okay. So we're going to keep going until we can get him in. All right. So don't forget, if you have not downloaded our free ebook on Awaken the Intimacy, make sure that you go to our website and get it at legendaryrelationship.com. So it's Awaken the Love and Intimacy, 8 Simple Ways. And it's just something to try because we all think we know everything about relationships, right? Most of the time we're learning as we go. So sometimes it's the simple things that make things better, right? It's the bigger gift in the smaller package instead of the big package. So these are ways to continue to connect with each other, because connection is the key to, people say communication, but you communicate better through knowing how to communicate. So this is the simple ways, it's the small things that help us to navigate marriage. All right? So we're going to be bringing on our guest as soon as he finds a way to work things out.
You know how it is.
Right. So this is my perfect opportunity. Jason doesn't like for me to say this, but we hope you missed us last Friday. And this is why we don't take the show on the road, because every time we try, people do not have strong internet connections. So last Friday, we were not able to come on. By the time we got the internet and everything working, our show was canceled. So because they only give you a limited amount of time to go live.
Right.
So we had technical difficulties last week, and we will be talking about that next Friday. Yeah. Right? The impact the decisions that you make on your relationship, right? And so people don't realize that the decision that they make for themselves, how it impacts everyone else. All right. So we're going to get into this week's topic after we give you a brief introduction of who and what we are.
Who and what we are, baby. Hey, Hey, welcome back. Welcome back.
All right, so welcome, guys. We hope everyone is tuning in. We're gonna get it together eventually. All right, and if we don't, we're just gonna keep it going, and you guys can watch the playback. All right, so today we're talking about student loan debt. We're talking about consolidation. We're talking about just getting student loans if you should or shouldn't. And we're also talking about student loan forgiveness. All right. So we hope that you are watching and tuning in. And so you might ask, well, what does this have to do with relationships?
Right.
And I'm glad you asked that question.
Yeah, me too.
Because it has everything to do with relationships.
Yep.
Because when you go into a relationship, and especially a marriage, oftentimes you're younger. It's times when you're older, but majority of the time you're younger, and you've gotten yourself into some type of debt. And if you've gone to school, most people carry student loan debt. And so this is something that people usually don't talk about on the first date. Well, hi, my name is Tina, and I have $50,000 worth of debt.
Sometimes they don't talk about it until after they said I do.
Or they don't talk about it at all. And the spouse finds out, and now your marriage has started off on the wrong foot.
Yep.
And so we actually know a couple that happened to, and we won't throw any names,
Right.
protect the innocent. And so the wife did not find out about her husband's student loan debt until after they got married, and she was extremely upset, and she was actually ready to get a divorce. So the marriage hadn't even started before she was ready to end it, because she felt that it was deceitful, and if he was hiding that, what else was he hiding?
Yep.
So, and we normally ask, well, what does student loan debt have to do with marriage or relationships? And so we want to let you know that everything that you do in your life pertains to your relationship, and in some fashion or form it relates to your marriage. So if we get married and we've never talked about the type of debt that we have, and now we're one, you may think, well, my debt is personal, it's me, it has nothing
Right.
to do with my mate. But it doesn't, because now that you've entered into a marriage, and say you have debt and you have to allocate money to that debt, now that takes away from the marriage. So you and your partner are now, which a number one reason to argue over money,
Over money. Yep.
right? So we're talking about why it's important to not only understand student debt or debt consolidation, but to talk about it in your relationship, to be open and honest. Now, debt and things that you owe is probably not something you want to talk about on the first date, but you do want to get around it. If you and the person that you're in a relationship with are talking about going further, and even if you're not talking about marriage, but being in a long-term relationship, a committed relationship, then this conversation should come up. It should come up about debt. How much debt do you owe? What is your debt to income ratio? How is that going to affect us when we move in together, when we start a life together? So these are things that are very, very important. And I know a lot of movies joke about, the black community when they say, well, they talked about dating people in the other race, right? White people. Oh, well, she has good credit. And so that has been a long-standing joke in movies and things. But, I don't think it's funny.
Right.
But it's something we need to talk about. And the reason why that is because we become grown, 18, right? Then you start getting credit card offers, but you have not been educated on how to handle debt. Now you get all these credit cards, you get into all this debt, you go into school, you get into student loan debt. And so you have all this debt in your early 20s, and then you're trying to get out of it and you don't know how. Right? So we have to talk about that. This is why if we set the record straight in the beginning, we can have a better relationship
For sure.
without arguing over money. And we can learn how to understand how to work through debt. So
We have to remove the embarrassment of having student loan debt.
or bad credit or
bad
whatever.
credit due to student loan or whatever.
All right, so our guest is here, and so we're not going to hold him any longer. We're going to welcome him to the show.
Are you good?
Welcome, Mario.
wanna
Give
see
us a head shake before we bring you in. Are you in? All good? Can you hear us?
I don't know if you can.
All right, just bring him in. Let's see.
All right, let's see if I add him to the stream. Nope, I think he's froze. Yeah, because he hasn't moved.
All right. So, our guest tonight, can you bring it over, Jason, for me, please? So, we're going to have Mario, and I'm sure he's going to work it out real soon because
He's working.
that's right. That's right. And it's hard, and it's the end of the day, and it's Friday. So, he is the law office of Mario A. Reed. He's from the office of the law office of Mario A. Reed. Is a law firm dedicated to providing affordable and convenient legal services while also educating its clients and the community at large about the many aspects of real estate, home ownership, estate planning, property taxes, and much more. Its principal attorney, Mario A. Reed, spent several years in government. His passion and commitment for helping helping others, coupled with his thorough knowledge of real estate, property taxes, and estate planning, prompt him to start his own law firm where he now provides in-home servicing of clients who need legal assistance with a litany of needs. And tonight he's here to talk with us about student loan debt forgiveness and debt consolidation. And he's here to answer any questions that you may have about it. So right now,
Let me see if
let's see if we can get him in now.
No, I think he's still frozen. He was in for a second, but let me just check. Keep going. I know you got to
Keep going. Okay, so I'm going to keep talking like I always do until we can get him in.
Yep.
And so my point in this is that it's important to start our relationships off right. But money is a very hard, or debt is a very hard topic to come up when you're trying to get intimate with someone, right? You find the right person, you're moving forward, and you say to yourself, how do I tell this person about my debt? Right? Is this important? Is this something that I should discuss before we get married? Right? Because we may feel like, well, I don't want to talk about it and it doesn't happen. Right? I don't want to talk about my debt and they know about my debt and then we don't get married. The thing is that honesty is the best policy. So if you are serious about someone and you're thinking about pursuing a relationship with them, then anything and everything that pertains to you pertains to that relationship in the future, because your money is one of the things that you're going to account for, right? So if you guys have bills and you can't pay them because, well, I can't pay the bills because I have debt that I need to pay for, that's something that needs to be discussed. So
There he is. I think I
let's
got
see.
him.
All right, let's see if we have
Oh,
him
no,
in now.
He keeps Hey,
freezing.
yeah, Mario, can you hear us?
Yes, yes, I can hear everything you're saying.
Yeah, but we just can't. we
can't
just can't
see
see you.
You're frozen.
Yeah.
So you're frozen on our side, but
I just got a
the
blank
screen
video.
the screen is blank.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna try one more thing. So,
Okay, so we'll keep tap dancing.
All right. So, again, if anyone is out there and you would like to give us a shout out, please remember to make a comment or hello or whatever so that we can say thank you for tuning in this Friday. And I know the Friday before last, we missed a couple of people who were on. So we do like to give out shout outs, and we missed
do.
Kelly.
Yep.
Kelly Dickerson. We missed Galen McDowell. We missed, who was other people?
I'm not sure, but I know we missed Vicky and Earl because they celebrated their 18th wedding.
Last Friday.
Last Friday they
So we want to
celebrated.
say happy anniversary to Vicky and Earl who celebrated their anniversary. All right, looks like he's in.
Yes.
And I also want to say happy birthday to my brother. Today is his birthday. And is there anything else? All right, so
I think that's it.
All right. Oh,
Yeah.
I also want to say congratulations to Kathy Kelly, who got engaged.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So welcome to the marriage club real quick.
Yep.
I mean, real soon.
Yep.
All right. So if I remember some more, I'll shout you guys out. So don't forget to put in the comments if you're out there. So Facebook user.
I said, hey, family. Hey.
So Facebook user, we need to know your name because for some reason,
Your profile is private, so
Yeah.
it won't allow you to share.
so you just have to share your name.
Rita asks, hey, family. Yep.
Rita says, hey, family.
Hey,
All right.
This is the type of episode you need to like, share. You need to call up everybody and tell them to get on this so they can watch it and they can get some of their questions
All right.
answered.
So it is 6:15. We're going to
Oh.
get started. Oh, it's Raven. Hi, Raven.
How are you?
So it is 6:15. We're going to get started because Jason and I have another Facebook to be on tonight. We're guests at 7:00. So we're going to try to get this in, get your questions in. Please take notes. Please ask questions. Mario, please tell me you're not still frozen because you have not moved.
I think he has.
So Mario, if you're doing it on your computer and you're having a hard
Yeah.
time, all right. So let's see who our like is. If it's someone,
I was ready to.
oh, all right. So, all right. Don't forget
All right.
to like,
Okay.
share, and hit the subscribe button.
Let's go.
Mario, you might want to try us on. Oh, there you
Okay.
go. Oh, okay, you're moving.
Yeah.
All right,
right.
so I'm hearing you all this time, and there hasn't been any lag thus far.
Okay. Wonderful.
So, are
Uh-oh. Are you at home, Mario?
you me?
Yeah. Yeah. You.
You're
can't-
gonna have to invest in a better sturdy.
So I'm gonna try and keep talking up until I get cut off. So I'm not, but I am hopeful that everyone is seeing and hearing what I have to say. So recently, there was an announcement from the Biden-Harris administration that up to $20,000 worth of student loans are going to be forgiven. So if anyone has federal student loans and they earn less than $125,000 as an individual or forgiveness. And if you receive those federal Pell Grants while you attended, you are the ones who will qualify for up to $20,000. If you did not receive federal Pell Grants while attending, then you will receive $10,000, and it's up to $10,000 or $20,000. Now, the reason why it's up to $10,000 or $20,000 is because let's say that you have $7,000 worth of federal student loans left, then you're going to only receive relief of $7,000. You will not get a $3,000 refund check from the federal relief. If you ever qualified for federal Pell Grants while you were attending college, you will then receive up to $20,000, but it works the same way. If you've paid down your student loans and you're stuck now with just $13,000, even if you qualify for up to $20,000, only the $13,000 is going to be forgiven. You will not be issued a $7,000 check. So I see that the live sign is continuing to count up. So I'm hopeful that you guys are hearing me. But I'm going to pause to see.
Yep.
Yes, we
Yeah.
can still hear you. We can still hear you.
Yep. We can still hear you.
Can you hear us, Mario?
So,
Oh.
so did you all get that last bit?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, we got it. Yes.
Keep going, Mario.
Okay.
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 All right. Okay. So I think that there were a few questions that we wanted to touch on. So I'll see if there's any questions from anybody who's watching, or if you want to go ahead and lead in with the questions, and then we'll get started and keep going for as long as we can.
All right. That
All
sounds
right,
good.
let's bring in his points.
All right. So
All right, so if anyone has any questions, type them in now so he can go ahead and go through his points. If not, we're just going to go through them. All right, type in your questions if you have any questions.
up to $20,000 of student forgiveness.
Okay, so where do they go and how do they do it? Boy,
Okay.
things are always trying to go.
It is, but you know what? I'm going to try something different then. All right.
Mario?
Hey, Mario, you know
Can you
what
hear
I'm
us?
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring you in on I'm going to bring you in on the phone. I'm going to bring you in on the phone.
Just the clock. Okay.
All right. Do you want to do that?
I don't think he can hear you.
Can you hear us, Mario?
I'm able to hear you now.
Okay. You want to just if we can get you on the phone, I can just Bluetooth you in if you want to do that.
Let's try that. Yes, because
Okay, cool.
hopefully that will work.
All right. So while you doing that,
All right, guys, hang in there, because this is some good information. So last time we had Mario on, and if you haven't seen that episode, he talked about getting your affairs in order. And so that means taking care of your business while you're here, making sure that who and what you have and who you want to leave it to is is done and in accordance. He talked about the difference between estate planning, the difference between a will. He talked about a lot of good information when we're dealing with he talked about the 4 legs of estate planning. So it was a lot of information, and if you have not seen it, make sure you go and check out that episode. Let's see what he can. No, this is
okay.
guys. I'm getting a call too. This is just the live that keeps on giving, right? Hello. Yes, we're live. We're on, and you're on with me. All right. All right. So I didn't know if that was what the person wanted something. So they're usually on my live. So, all right. So we're going to try to connect me. And thank you guys for being patient. Like I said, this is very important. And this is a topic and something that we need to discuss when we're in relationships.
All right. We're going to see if we can get Mario on the line. All right.
Okay. Do I need to do it on your phone or am I going
Mine. I'll do it on mine because I'm connected. So we'll get him on here. Just bear with us for a second.
Is his number saved?
No, it's not.
Okay. So that makes it even better, guys. All right. Talk to the people about something else, Jason.
All right. About what? Debt, loan, forgiveness, technical difficulties. You know what? Listen, we're going to get this information out regardless. We're not
That's
going to
right.
stop, right? So,
That's right.
I mean, he has a wealth of information. We want to make sure that we can get this to you because I know it's important and I know it's about to expire.
Hello. Please state your name after the tone, and Google Voice will try to connect you.
Legend.
Yes, it. Hey, Mario?
Yes.
All right, cool. Let me go ahead and.
So your other line is probably going to be
right, let me see.
recording us or something.
All right. Can everybody hear Mario?
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
Can somebody give me that in the
You
chat?
got to go to the other thing, to the other, so you can see the comments.
Yeah, I'm looking. All right, let's see if I can.
So Frank Jackson says, "Hey family."
All right, that's wonderful. What's going on?
All right, so if someone could be so kind to just type something there real quick, if you're able to hear our guest. Okay, so Frank says yes.
Okay, cool. All right, Mario, you're good here.
All right, Mario. So the first thing was to up to $20,000, and I know you touched on that. So the question was, so how do they do it, and where do they go, and what are the things they need to know?
Excellent. So, and I want to apologize. I don't know what's any different than 2 weeks ago, but I apologize about the technical difficulties. So, how you go about applying for the $10,000 or $20,000 is to go to the website of studentaid.gov. Studentaid.gov. And once you go to that website, there's a big banner that's right on the front, and it says apply for federal student loan debt relief. However, not everybody needs to go and apply for it. If you are already on an income-based repayment plan, which means that every year you submit your tax information from the IRS to the Department of Education, you do not have to do a kick your feet up and wait until the loans, $10,000 or $20,000 is forgiven. So if every year you recertify and share your taxing information with the Department of Education, you don't have to do anything. All you have to do is wait. Only if you are not on an income-based repayment plan do you need to go and apply. And where you would apply is studentaid.gov.
Okay, so what if the person is still in school and they have the student loan? Are they able to apply for it then? And is it automatic? If they have the student loans, is it automatic or do they have to apply also?
So if you're still in school, you do need to sign up for an income-driven repayment plan. And at the time when you sign up for it, you then will be able to also apply for the debt relief. But this has to be done by December 31st of 2023. So if anyone is still in school right now but has already accumulated federal student loans, you can call the Department of Education and state that you would like to start paying on your student loans right now. And then immediately thereafter, sign up for what's called a direct loan product. And then you will apply for the $10,000 in federal student loan debt relief, or if you qualify for Pell Grants, you'll get up to the $20,000. So whatever loans you already have, those will be reduced by either the $10,000 or the $20,000 debt relief.
Okay, I had a question, but I forgot what it was. I don't know. Something about the process of it. So,
So the first place you start is with the federal student aid, the website that you gave, studentaid.gov. I'm showing that on the screen now. Is that where they actually need to go to start?
Yes. So to start the process, if they're still in school, they would start also at studentaid.gov. And then they're going to enter in their social, and that will allow for them to create an account. And then once they go through and create their account, they can indicate that they'd like to start paying on their federal student loans. And then thereafter, they'll fill out the application for the debt relief application.
okay, and so you said this goes into December 31st of 2023. So what it allows is people who are still in school in the debt they may accumulate between now and next year to actually put that in. Is that what that's for?
That's exactly it. So it's giving the opportunity for any individuals, whether it be who have already accumulated debt or are still racking it up, to yet qualify for that debt relief opportunity.
And so when is the deadline? So the deadline for everything to fill this out, because we heard October 31st was a deadline. So is there a deadline that's October 31st to have this filled out?
So that's a different program. So that October 31st, 2022 deadline is very different than the recent debt relief program. So I'm going to back up a bit. When we talk about that October 31st, 2022 deadline, that's referring to a program which is known as the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. And that's different than this $10,000 or $20,000 debt relief. Everybody who has student loans qualifies for either the $10,000 or the $20,000. But only a select few individuals qualify for what is called the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. And how the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program works is that if someone has federal student loans and they leave school, whether they graduated or they just quit, if they go into a profession which is for the government, meaning that you can work for the federal government, the state government, the county government, or the local municipal government, or tribal government, or if they work for a non-for-profit, that is a 501c3. If they go into what is known as public service, they then only have to make 120 payments, or the equivalency of 10 years worth of payments. And then the entirety of the rest of their debt, student loan debt, goes away. Well, that program only works for individuals who had what are known as direct loan products. And that created a lot of issues and consternation for people who attended school, like myself, in 2006, and we didn't automatically have direct loan products. So we would start paying on our student loans, and then we were in public service professions, but because we didn't have direct loans, we didn't qualify for those payments towards the 120 end date. Well, as of October 1st of 2021, the Biden-Harris administration said for a limited time only, for 1 year, we're going to allow individuals who work in public service professions but don't have direct loan products to apply for a temporary waiver that allows them to get credit for all of those payments which were made on normally non-qualifying loans towards the 120 payments. So for individuals who work in public service, they need to apply for the public service loan forgiveness waiver before October 31st of 2022. 10 days. They have 10 days to apply for the public service loan forgiveness waiver. And that's what that October 31st end date is. It's for individuals who have worked in public service, whether it be government or non-for-profit organizations.
Thank you, Mario. That was so, you know,
some clarity right there.
yeah, absolutely. Because so often we think we know what's going on, so we jump the gun and we listen to other people and we go and fill this out and do this and do that, and we don't have all of the information. Because I'm glad you clarified the difference between the public service loan forgiveness and the debt, the $10,000 to $20,000.
Loan forgiveness.
No, loan, the debt. I mean, not debt. What you talking about? Whatever it was, I can't think of the name.
Loan forgiveness.
Okay. So, so do you want to give us more information on the forgiveness of the loans with, the 10 to 20K, or did you cover all of the bases that they need to know?
So I covered it in terms of an overview.
Okay.
But if there are specific questions that anyone has, I would be more than happy to address those. And so that you're aware, I am posting the links on Facebook in the Facebook comments for both of the different debt relief applications, both the public service loan forgiveness waiver and for the $10,000 or $20,000 loan forgiveness.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. So
And
we
I have
talked.
that up on the screen now.
So we talked about the student that is out of school, and we talked about the student that is still in school. Like myself, I just recently graduated with my master's, and so I don't have very much in loan debt, but I'm going to do it anyway. So what do I do? Do I have to? Because I'm not even on a payment plan yet. So because they had canceled it. They didn't do the payment plan because of COVID, so everything was extended. So what do I do in that situation?
So what you do is on tomorrow, you call the Department of Education or log on to studentaid.gov and make sure that your account is registered and created, because they didn't cancel it per se over the last 3 years while we were in the pandemic. What they did is a moratorium. And a moratorium is very different than what it is that canceling looks like or anything else.
Yeah, that's true.
We wanted for you to have been registered and essentially saying, I'm ready to make payments. Because in doing so, you should have received credit for all of these months that there was a moratorium in place towards your final end date. And that's what's so critical and important for every student. Every student who gets federal student loans, whether they're a freshman or whether they are in grad school, as soon as you get the disbursement for those loans and that semester is over, you want to start paying on those student loans. You do not want to wait until you finish school. You want to start paying immediately. And the reason why is because with all direct loan products, which are the only federal student loans which have been available for anyone who's attended school since 2015, there is an end date. And this is one of the misconceptions and misnomers that's out there, which is very unfortunate. People think that federal student loans last forever, and they don't. Thanks to the Obama administration and now the improvements that have been made under the Biden-Harris administration, every federal student loan has an end date. And that end date is typically 20 years. Now, I know a lot of people will say 20 years, that's an eternity. It might as well be forever. Well, First and foremost, no, because most of us have 30-year mortgages, and we don't bat an eye at that idea. So 20 years isn't an eternity. But the other great part is that if you start paying on those student loans while you're still in school, your monthly payment will likely be $10 to $15. And then you start to accumulate credit towards your 20-year end date while only paying $10 to $15. So it's imperative that as soon as you can start paying, which is after the semester ends, where you receive the disbursement, you want to start paying, especially in instances where there's a moratorium in place, because I've gotten credit for 3 years worth of payments towards my 20-year end date without having paid a penny.
So the credit. So how does this credit work? So in my case, I haven't started paying. I graduated in May, and so now I should go on and make sure that I tell them, so I set up an account to start paying. And so once I start paying, then I get the credit, or how is that done?
Yes, that's exactly it. And when I'm saying credit, I'm saying that's meaning credit towards the 20-year end date. So think of it as you have 240 payments to make.
Okay.
Once you sign up to start paying, which had you have done it in May, for June, July, August, and now October, you would have received 4 months credit towards your 240-month end date, even though you weren't paying anything.
Wow, knowledge is power.
Yeah, it is.
Wow,
Yes.
that's amazing.
Yes,
That's amazing.
So I have a question coming in. Go ahead.
Yes.
Okay, so
I got one question here. Vicky has the question. Hello, is it too late to sign up for the debt relief? No, it is not, Vicky. And where you need to go to is.
you.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say let Mario answer.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mario.
Yes, so it is not too late. The application for the debt relief just went live this past Monday, and it's available until December 31st of 2023. Where you go to register or sign up for it, the debt relief, is at studentaid.gov. Studentaid.gov. I've put the link in the comments on Facebook, so you can also get it from there.
And we also have it on the screen now. So just make sure I'll put it up there as well as a scroll. Studentaid.gov.
So I have another question. What if the person is, let's say they had a student loan from 10 years ago. They're in default. They haven't paid for their student loans. So can they qualify for this? Can they call up and say, hey, put me on the payment plan now, and now I want to apply for the debt forgiveness?
Yes, they absolutely can. And that was one of the big pain points for people who were opposed to the Biden administration doing this. Because the Biden administration said, come one, come all, whether you're current, whether you're delinquent, come on in and get some of this $10,000 student loan debt relief. And that's what's so tremendous about this opportunity, is that not only is it going to allow for those individuals to get a reprieve, it's going to allow for them to get current again, which is going to help with their credit, because student loans being delinquent or in default are major killers of credit scores. So for anyone who's been in that predicament, this is an olive branch that's being extended by the Biden-Harris administration, which is saying, get right with your student loans. And on top of it, they've agreed to eliminate the penalties that normally would have applied for them coming out of the default and delinquency status. So it is the best time ever to get everything right with those student loans.
Wow. So let me see anyone else that I've heard of. Does anyone have any questions? And don't feel embarrassed. because
Well, if you are, just ask for a friend. Because
yeah,
we all
so
need
it doesn't
to
have to
get
be
this
you say
knowledge.
I have a friend, so ask for a friend. But we want to get the information out because there's so many different scenarios and situations. So if yours is different and you want to know, please ask the questions now. That's the only way to get the answers out.
Right.
All right. So we can go back to this if you guys have more questions. But the next thing he wanted to talk about was debt consolidation. If Jason can,
And debt consolidation.
well, hold on, Mario. Jason's it's one of those days. It seems like
Everything is just working out. For our
everything
good.
is working together.
Yep.
All right.
Debt
So-
consolidation.
So loan consolidation. So tell us about that and what it is and what the 411.
Yeah, so loan consolidation is something which anyone who's ever attended school, college, and gotten federal student loans needs to take advantage of. And that's because when we attend school, college, and we get federal student loans, we get those student loans per semester. So as an example, Tina, for yourself, if you went and did a master's, that likely would have been a total of 4 semesters, correct?
Yes.
So if you received federal student loans, you received a minimum of 4 different loans. More than likely, you actually received 8 student loans because some of them were likely subsidized and some of them were likely unsubsidized. So when you go and create your account at studentaid.gov and they tell you who your servicer is for the servicing of those student loans, you're going to see potentially 4 different loans all the way up to 8 different loans. And those loans are going to be different amounts because they had different interest rates, and the interest has already started accumulating on any of the unsubsidized loans. So you're going to be greeted with a rude awakening of all of these different loans, even though you thought you only received one set of federal student loans. So because you're going to have either 4 or 8 or some variation of those numbers, you want to consolidate them. You want to say bring all of those loans into one singular loan, which will be then fixed at the same interest rate, irrespective as to when you received them and what the interest rate was at that time. And that's going to allow you to qualify for an income-based repayment plan. And that's the name of the game. For anyone who has federal student loans, they need to get onto an income-driven repayment plan. And how you do that is by consolidating all of your federal student loans into a singular loan and then submitting your tax information so as to have the government, the federal government, calculate what your new payment is. So to give everyone a more concrete example, I attended undergraduate at Columbia College, and then I attended law school at John Marshall. By the time I graduated from John Marshall, I had a total of 16 different student loans because I was receiving essentially 2 every single semester. So because I had a total of 7 different semesters, 7 years worth of 2 semesters each year, that's what resulted in me having so many different loans. When I consolidated all of them, it brought my one loan to an amount of $128,000. That's how much I currently own or owe for student loans. Well, normally on a balance that high, my payment is supposed to be $1,600 a month, more than my mortgage. But because I'm on an income-driven repayment plan, they only look at my adjustable gross income. And because I'm an entrepreneur who gets to take every write-off that exists based on my business, my adjustable gross income is low enough where now my student loan payment is only $112.
Guys, you got to get this information. You got to get this information. I'm telling you, because I did not know, because we hear the term loan consolidation, and I never really thought about that you should consolidate your student loans, because there's so many people who go, like you said, for 4 years or 8 years, 12 years, and they don't know. So by the time you end, you have all these different loans at different interest rates, at different start dates, different end dates. And if you consolidate them, you have one solid payment at one interest rate, and it's fixed. Absolutely. Okay. So
when you do that, Mario, it's at the current rate, right? Today's rate, regardless of when you actually took out the loan.
It's whenever you consolidate. So it's the rate when you consolidate. So if you consolidate today, then at which point you're going to receive today's rate, which right now is capped at 6.75%. But I want to stress, don't worry about the interest rate, because the goal is to never pay back the student loan.
Okay.
So remember earlier how I mentioned that once you're on a direct loan, there's a 20-year end date.
Yep.
So in my case, once I consolidated those loans, and I did that back in 2014, I started the clock on my 20-year end date. Well, for the last 3 years, I have paid nothing, but I've gotten credit for 3 years worth of payments because it was the moratorium.
Okay.
Because I consolidated my loans, and then by consolidating my loans, I went on to a direct loan product. The federal government now only looks at 10% of my discretionary income. So how that's calculated is I give them what my adjustable gross income is, and then they withdraw the fact that I'm financially responsible for my daughter on my taxes. So that reduces my adjustable gross income even more. And then they say 10% of your discretionary income. And that's how they come up with a payment amount of $112. So now, because of the fact that I'm an entrepreneur and I intend on being one for the rest of my natural life, my payment is going to roughly be between $112 and maybe $150. I only have to pay that for the next, I'm already 8 years in, so for the next 12 years. So if we multiply $112 and times another 12 years, 12 times 12, that's 144 months. So we do 12 times 144. So I'm going to have paid, by the time it's all said and done, roughly $20,000. And the rest of the loans are discharged and forgiven.
Wow. Wow.
That's what I'm talking about. Dropping some gems.
Man.
All right, guys, you gotta have some questions. You gotta have some questions. If you don't, you're sleeping.
Wow.
Did you understand this process? And if you didn't, sometimes it doesn't register.
Yeah.
So, is there any way to put Mario's number up there on the screen?
Oh, sure. I can go ahead. I got his contact information.
All right. So if you want some one-on-one time, if you want to be privacy and ask for a friend, here is Mario's information. Please take it down. Please call him. Please get this information. Please spread it. We think that all we have to do is, I'm going to apply for that $20,000 loan forgiveness and I'm set. There's so much more to the process, right? And this is how, this is starting the ball rolling of how the rich stay rich. And if we don't do what we're supposed to do and get that knowledge, the poor stays poor. So the whole point is to get the information. What is it? Everyone save one or something like that, or however the saying goes. I can't think of it, but do that,
Each
right?
one, teach one.
There you ready to go.
Each one,
Teach one. There you go. And so Mario is teaching a bunch right now. And so we need for you to like, share, subscribe so that this information can get out to those who do not have it and do not know where to get it. So again, I go back to the beginning of this. You say, well, how does this apply to relationships? Well, if I married Jason and he was in $160,000 worth of debt, guarantee you I would be at the court office saying, I want a divorce, right? So everything we do in our life applies to our relationship because we are in a relationship with someone else. And our money has, everything, right? We argue over money, we argue over debt. Let's say, like me, for instance, I decided to go back to school, and maybe Jason was on board or he wasn't, and then I decided to, okay, well, I'm going to take out a student loan, and now we're arguing because you said you're going back to school.
Right.
You didn't say anything about bringing more debt into the house.
Right.
So now that's an issue. So we wonder how this applies to relationships.
This is it.
Everything you do applies to your relationship. Because I may think it has nothing to do with him, right? I can pay it back. I have my own money. But if it's taken away from the household, if it's causing more chaos, if it's causing misunderstandings, if we're not on the same page moving forward, if we don't know about loan consolidation, all of this plays a part in our relationship. All right. So can you put up right after Vicky and put that up on the screen above? Yep.
Oh, Jatan.
Jatan is in the house. Hey, Jatan, she made it.
Yep.
All
She was
right.
telling you each one teach one.
Thank you, guys. I know sometimes especially with the way this started, you have those brain farts. So each one teach one. So what tonight is each one teach 10.
Yep.
All right, because there are lots of people who have student loan debt and just think that their biggest goal is to get the $20,000 or the $10,000. But there's so much more to this game.
For sure.
All right. I came in on the end of Mario, but you just said a mouthful, and I need to learn or know more. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And you can always go back and and watch the replay.
Yes.
But for sure, you want to understand what's going on.
And I mean, Mario, God, every time we talk to you, you just bring a whole bunch of wealth. It's like you're like a walking wealth machine.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and you're not even married, so I don't even know how I feel about that.
Man.
But is there anything else? Because like I said, Jason and I do have to be off by 7. So Mario, give us something else, another point, whatever else you needed to discuss that is important.
And I also have the link up there that Mario has graciously put into the comments. It is how to manage and the repayment plans for the loans, how to manage the loans. So there's a couple of links in the comments. Please go back on Facebook and grab those.
Is Mario still there?
Yeah, Mario's still here.
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right.
Still here.
All right.
And the one item that I would say, and this pertains to especially our community, because we have so many people who have side hustles. We always hear that. And I know within marriages, that's a lot of times what it is, where we're working towards our side hustle or we're working towards being entrepreneurs. It is so imperative that individuals who have side hustles or are entrepreneurs actually go the process of formally registering and then organizing that organization so they can then take full advantage of all of the tax benefits. The reason why my student loan payment is $112 is because I have a law firm as well as several other businesses which are formally registered with the Illinois Secretary of State. All of them have employer identification numbers. All of them have business checking accounts, and I'm using them as businesses. A lot of times clients walk into my office and say, why do you use this fancy paper? And I explain, by using that fancy paper, I now get to write off more, so I pay less in taxes. So my clients get a better experience, I pay less in taxes, and most importantly, I now pay less in student loans. By having a formal business, I now get to take all of the write-offs, the chairs that are in my office, all of the canvas art that's in my office, the high-end computers. You benefit by spending more on your business, because when you invest more in your business, ideally it manifests itself with having a better customer experience. But even if it doesn't, you still reap the benefit of paying less to the IRS. And when you pay less to the IRS, you pay less in federal student loans. So please, if you have a business, stop dragging your feet on creating that LLC. Stop dragging your feet on doing proper accounting. Get a business checking account. Make sure to use the business card when you're paying utilities, gas, phone bills, all of those different expenses, because not only will it save you come tax time, but it will also directly save you on student loans as well.
There you go. And you do have some good paper, man.
All right. So,
will say
and
that.
Mario is our personal attorney. So,
Yes.
and the experience has been fantastic. Always know what to do and when to do it and how to do it.
Yep.
So, if you do not know, so it sounds like it's becoming the legendary relationship Jason and Tina with the guest Mario show.
Yeah,
you know.
he's bringing it.
So we have to bring Mario back again to talk about LLCs because everyone is starting an LLC.
And a lot of couples are starting businesses too.
Yes,
So this is a good
yes.
time. Yes.
Let's get, and LLCs are now cheaper than they used to be. And so if you have a side hustle, if there's something that you want to do when you're doing it on the side and you want to make a business out of it, yes. Let's start the LLCs. Let's figure out, let's understand the different types. Let's understand the cost. Let's understand what it takes. Let's get those business checking accounts. Let's do it the right way, right? Let's elevate. And all of this has to do with relationships and marriage. Okay, so Mario, we're going to have to bring you back on again to talk about the LLC.
Yeah,
All
John
right?
says she needs one. Yep. All you got to do is hit up Mario. I'm gonna put your information back up here on the screen.
All right,
here,
so
Mario.
this is where you can contact him.
Yeah.
We need a personal link so that we can get our what do you call that?
referral fee.
Our referral fee. So Mario, we're gonna have to set you up a link so we can get our referral fee out of each client that you get. We love you guys. We thank you for tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe to the station so that we can help marriages, we
Yeah.
can help people, and we can help ourselves. All right. So you guys like, share, subscribe. LegendaryRelationship.com/info if you want to know where you can reach us and how to get it. All right, let's see all of our likes. Is there anybody that we missed? And if we did miss you, so
yeah, Frank, thank you much. Thank you much for the likes. We have Tom.
Done,
We appreciate
okay.
that.
and we had Raven. All right. And if there's anyone's birthday, happy birthday. If there's anyone's anniversary, Vicky and Earl, we don't know if you were on then. We said happy anniversary from last week that we missed because we
Yeah.
had some technical difficulties. So, all right.
Jason said great knowledge.
All
Yeah.
right. So, Jason,
And-
there was a bunch of information in the beginning. Please make sure you go back and look at this and share it with all of your college friends. So, that is Jason Scott II. That is our son who has student loans and needs to go and like, share, subscribe this with all of his
Okay.
friends
Yeah.
to tell them how to work the plan.
Yep.
All right.
And Tom said, "Love you all." Yep, love you.
All right.
too.
Love you guys.
Hey,
You have a
don't forget,
great
go out and
weekend.
start that LLC. All you got to do is pop in, talk to Mario.
I'm going to
He'll
give
get you
Mario
straight.
2 weeks because next week we got to talk about the impact of your decisions. And then maybe the week after that or whenever Mario is available,
Oh,
we can
got
do
one quick
LLC.
thing. One quick thing. Vicky said, "Does this include businesses in your home, Mario?"
Especially businesses in your home. One of the things a lot of people don't know and realize is that you can deduct up to 300 square feet of your home if you are doing business out of your home. So that deduction alone goes a really long way. But if you're doing business out of your home, you can also start to talk about deducting potentially utilities that you're
You do.
paying for
Yep.
your home.
Yep.
You can start to talk about deducting all the expenses that go into it. So yes, if you have a business, if it's in your home, if it's out of your home, you deserve to take advantage of all those deductions in the tax code, and you're only hurting yourself by not doing so.
All right, and we're going to end it on there. All right, thank you, Mario. We're going to get you back on.
Yes,
We're going to
thank you
stay
so
connected. Thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend, and we have to go. Anything else you want to say? Because you always say I'd go too fast.
Oh, you
All
already
right,
did it.
let's close it. All right, and as always,
Hold on 1 second. She,
See?
she got one thing. I mean,
Oh.
what your time just jumped in.
oh wow, we have two. What we have two, one of which is at home. I'll be contacting you, Mario.
There you go.
All
Jatan.
right.
Give him a call.
There you
Hit
go.
up- hit
all
up
of
Mario.
those, all of those
Almost-
things that you're doing and not getting tax benefits from it. There you go.
Right. All I can say is when you deal with Mario, you get he's a class act and he knows the process and he just guides you down this road and then it's
So
just-
maybe
it's
next
peaceful.
week, Mario, are you available next week?
I am, and what I'll do is I'll make sure to do it from my office, so hopefully no technical difficulties.
All right, Mario, let's hope so. All right, so next Friday, guys, we're going to postpone the other one again. Next Friday, we're going to talk about LLCs because I think that's important right now, especially with everyone starting businesses. All right, so as always, we're in it to win it. Love you. Have a great weekend.
Yep. Enjoy. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. We really appreciate it.